Hello everyone, and welcome back.
Hi everyone. It is lovely to have you with us again.
Ron, I have created a very peaceful atmosphere today.
I can see that. You have tea, soft music, and a candle.
Yes. I wanted a calm morning.
That sounds healthy.
It was healthy until I opened a travel app.
Oh no. What happened?
I saw a photograph of a small Italian town beside the sea.
Let me guess. 10 minutes later, you were comparing flights.
Not only flights. I had chosen a hotel, found 3 cafes, and planned what I would wear.
That escalated quickly.
It always does. My bank account was still at home, but emotionally, I was already in Italy.
Then reality arrived?
Yes. Reality arrived with baggage fees, seat fees, and a very unfriendly final price.
Travel websites have a talent for turning excitement into mathematics.
Exactly. But while I was looking at the flights, another thought crossed my mind.
What was it?
I began thinking about the environmental impact of flying.
That can make a simple holiday decision feel morally complicated.
It really can. Air travel gives us freedom, speed, and access to the world.
Yet it also contributes to climate change.
So today, we are asking a difficult question.
Is air travel an essential modern convenience, or has it become an environmental problem?
I suspect the answer is uncomfortable.
The most honest answers often are.
Let us begin with the positive side.
Air travel has transformed human mobility.
Mobility means our ability to move from one place to another.
Exactly. A journey that once took weeks can now be completed in hours.
That change has affected work, education, relationships, and even our sense of distance.
The world has not physically become smaller, but it often feels more connected.
I can speak to someone on another continent in the morning and meet them in person the next day.
That would have seemed extraordinary to people in the past.
Air travel also allows international students to study at universities far from home.
It enables researchers, artists, business owners, and medical professionals to exchange knowledge.
And it helps families stay connected across borders.
That human side matters.
Very much. One of my closest friends moved abroad several years ago.
How did that affect your friendship?
At first, we spoke all the time. Then life became busy.
Time differences can make communication difficult.
Exactly. When I was free, she was working. When she was free, I was asleep.
So the calls became less frequent.
Yes. We still cared about each other, but our lives slowly moved in different directions.
That can be painful.
Then one winter, she flew home without telling me.
A surprise visit?
Yes. I was sitting in a quiet cafe, drinking coffee and complaining about the weather.
A normal winter activity.
Then she walked through the door.
How did you react?
I stared at her for several seconds because my brain could not process it.
Then what happened?
I cried, she cried, and the person at the next table looked extremely uncomfortable.
A beautiful reunion with a slightly confused audience.
Exactly. In that moment, air travel did not feel like a luxury. It felt like a bridge between two lives.
That is why environmental discussions about flying need emotional honesty.
Meaning?
We cannot talk about aviation as if every flight were equally unnecessary.
A weekend shopping trip and a journey to see a sick parent are not morally identical.
Precisely. Context matters.
Flying can also broaden our understanding of other cultures.
Travel often challenges assumptions.
You arrive in a new country believing your way of doing things is normal.
Then you discover that normal is often local rather than universal.
Meal times are different. Social rules are different. Even silence can mean something different.
Those experiences can make people more open-minded.
Although travel does not automatically make someone wise.
No, you can cross 10 borders and still learn very little.
Especially if you spend the entire trip taking photographs for social media.
There is a difference between visiting a place and engaging with it.
Engaging with it means paying attention, asking questions, and trying to understand.
Exactly. Meaningful travel requires curiosity.
Still, none of those benefits erase the environmental cost.
No, aviation relies heavily on fossil fuels.
And aircraft release carbon dioxide and other emissions into the atmosphere.
Those emissions contribute to global warming.
Flying is especially difficult to replace with clean energy because aircraft need enormous amounts of power while remaining light enough to fly.
That makes aviation one of the harder industries to decarbonize.
Decarbonize means reducing or removing carbon emissions from an activity.
Correct.
Airlines often advertise more efficient aircraft.
Efficiency helps. Newer planes can use less fuel per passenger.
But there is a problem.
More people are flying.
Exactly. If each flight becomes slightly cleaner but the total number of flights keeps rising, overall emissions may still increase.
That is an important point.
Convenience encourages demand.
When flights become cheaper and easier to book, people tend to travel more frequently.
Sometimes almost without thinking.
A low-cost flight can make a distant city feel like a casual weekend option.
You see a ticket for a surprisingly low price and think, why not?
Then you remember the hidden fees.
Bag fee, seat fee, food fee, and possibly a fee for having emotions.
Airlines have not introduced that one yet.
I am sure someone is working on it.
Even when the financial price is low, the environmental price remains.
And that raises a question about fairness.
In what sense?
Not everyone flies equally.
That is true.
Some people take several international trips every year.
Others may never travel by plane at all.
Yet the effects of climate change are often felt most strongly by communities that contributed the least to the problem.
That is one of the central injustices of climate change.
People with fewer resources may face floods, heat waves, crop failure, or water shortages.
While frequent travelers are often wealthier and better able to protect themselves.
That makes aviation more than a personal lifestyle issue.
It becomes a social and political issue as well.
So should governments make flying more expensive?
That is controversial.
Higher prices might reduce unnecessary flights.
But they could also make family visits and educational opportunities less accessible to ordinary people.
Meanwhile, wealthy travelers might continue flying without changing their habits.
Exactly. A policy can appear environmentally sensible, but still be socially unfair.
Then what would a fairer system look like?
Some people argue that occasional flights should remain affordable, while very frequent flying should cost more.
So the first yearly flight might be treated differently from the 10th.
That is the idea.
It places more responsibility on people who fly repeatedly.
Businesses also have a role.
Many work trips can now be replaced by video meetings.
Although not every face-to-face meeting is unnecessary.
Sometimes being in the same room creates trust that is difficult to build online.
True. Again, the useful question is not, is travel always bad?
It is this particular trip necessary and worthwhile?
Exactly.
Worthwhile means valuable enough to justify the time, money, or impact.
You might ask, is this journey worthwhile, or am I traveling out of habit?
That is a powerful question.
Habits often hide inside convenience.
I know that from food delivery apps.
You order because you are hungry?
Sometimes. Other times, I order because cooking would require standing up.
Convenience can reduce the pause between desire and action.
That is so true.
Before online booking, arranging a trip required more effort.
Now we can buy a ticket while lying in bed at midnight.
Which is not always the best time to make financial or environmental decisions.
I feel personally attacked.
Gently challenged.
That sounds kinder.
The solution may be to create a deliberate pause.
For example, wait 24 hours before booking.
Yes. Ask yourself a few questions.
Do I genuinely want this trip?
Is there a practical alternative?
Could I stay longer and travel less often?
Could the purpose of the trip be achieved online?
And am I choosing this because it matters, or because the ticket looks cheap?
Those questions do not forbid travel. They make it more intentional.
Intentional means chosen carefully and for a clear reason.
Exactly.
I like the idea of intentional travel more than guilt-driven travel.
Guilt rarely produces calm, lasting change.
It can make people defensive.
Or hopeless.
I have experienced that with climate news.
What happens?
I read about wildfires, floods, and record temperatures. Then I feel overwhelmed.
Climate anxiety can be exhausting.
Part of me wants to do everything perfectly.
And another part wants to avoid the subject completely.
Yes. It feels as if every choice has a hidden moral test.
That is emotionally unsustainable.
There is that word again, sustainable.
Sustainability is not only about the planet. Our personal response must also be sustainable.
Meaning we need habits we can continue without becoming exhausted.
Precisely.
So what is a healthy way to think about personal responsibility?
Avoid two extremes.
What are they?
The first is believing that individual choices alone can solve a global problem.
That ignores governments, industries, and infrastructure.
The second is believing that personal choices are completely meaningless.
That removes all responsibility.
A mature position sits between those extremes.
We make reasonable changes, support wider reforms, and accept that perfection is impossible.
Well put.
That reminds me of learning English.
I was wondering when we would connect the two.
English learners often believe they must become perfect before they can speak freely.
But perfection is usually the result of practice, not the condition for beginning.
Exactly. You gain confidence by speaking imperfectly.
You make a mistake, notice it, and try again.
Environmental action can work in a similar way.
We do not wait until our lifestyle is flawless.
We make one better choice, then another.
Progress grows through consistency.
Consistency means continuing regularly, even when the effort is small.
10 minutes of English every day can be more effective than one exhausting study session each month.
And choosing a train for several short journeys can be more realistic than promising never to fly again.
Exactly.
If you are enjoying this conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
Comment the word responsibility if you want to speak English more naturally.
And tell us whether you think flying should become more expensive.
Or whether governments should focus more on improving trains and public transport.
Let us move to practical choices.
Good idea.
What can an ordinary traveler realistically do?
First, consider the distance.
For short journeys, trains or buses may be practical alternatives.
Especially when you include the time spent traveling to the airport, checking in, passing through security, and waiting at the gate.
A 1-hour flight can become a 5-hour experience.
Whereas a train may take you directly from one city center to another.
And trains allow more freedom to move around.
You can work, read, or simply watch the landscape.
There is something deeply calming about looking through a train window on a rainy afternoon.
It makes the journey feel less like lost time.
Second, choose direct flights when possible.
Takeoff and landing require considerable energy.
So several connecting flights may create more emissions than one direct journey.
Third, travel less frequently but stay longer.
Slow travel sounds increasingly attractive to me.
Why?
Constantly moving from one attraction to another can become exhausting.
You return home needing a holiday from your holiday.
Exactly. Slow travel allows you to understand a place more deeply.
You can visit a local market, walk through ordinary neighborhoods, and develop a daily rhythm.
Instead of collecting photographs, you collect experiences.
Nicely said.
Fourth, pack light.
I knew you would hesitate.
I do not pack. I prepare for every possible version of myself.
How many versions are there?
Sporty Jennifer, elegant Jennifer, relaxed Jennifer, and Jennifer who suddenly needs 4 jackets.
Does the final version ever appear?
Rarely.
Packing light makes travel easier and slightly reduces the weight carried by the aircraft.
It also reduces stress.
Fifth, use public transport when traveling to and from the airport.
Sixth, avoid single-use plastic when possible.
Bring a reusable bottle, bag, and basic travel items.
Seventh, combine purposes.
What do you mean?
If you are already traveling for work, perhaps you can add a short personal visit instead of taking another flight later.
That can reduce the number of separate journeys.
Finally, explore closer destinations.
Adventure does not require crossing an ocean.
A nearby town can still challenge your routine.
You can walk through unfamiliar streets, try regional food, or spend a quiet afternoon by a river.
We often confuse distance with value.
A faraway place is not automatically more meaningful.
That is worth remembering.
Shall we practice a few natural expressions?
Yes. Let us say them clearly.
Air travel has brought enormous benefits, but those benefits come at a cost.
Air travel has brought enormous benefits, but those benefits come at a cost.
I try to weigh the benefits against the environmental impact.
I try to weigh the benefits against the environmental impact.
To weigh one thing against another means to compare two sides carefully.
For shorter journeys, rail travel is often a viable alternative.
For shorter journeys, rail travel is often a viable alternative.
Viable means practical and likely to work.
We should aim for thoughtful progress rather than impossible perfection.
We should aim for thoughtful progress rather than impossible perfection.
This trip matters to me, so I have decided that it is worthwhile.
This trip matters to me, so I have decided that it is worthwhile.
That is a balanced way to express a personal choice.
One more.
All right.
Convenience should not remove responsibility.
Convenience should not remove responsibility.
I like that sentence.
It summarizes much of our discussion.
So what is our final answer?
Air travel is both a remarkable convenience and a genuine environmental problem.
It connects people, expands opportunity, supports education, and makes urgent journeys possible.
At the same time, it produces emissions, encourages frequent consumption, and raises questions about global fairness.
The answer is not blind celebration.
Nor is it total rejection.
It is thoughtful use.
Fly when the journey has real value.
Choose alternatives when they are realistic.
Support better transport systems and cleaner technology.
And avoid turning convenience into an unconscious habit.
Most importantly, do not let the search for perfection stop you from making progress.
That applies to the environment and to English.
You do not need flawless grammar to express a meaningful idea.
You need courage, patience, and regular practice.
Speak with the words you have.
Listen carefully.
Notice how natural phrases are used.
And allow yourself to improve gradually.
Language learning is a journey, not a test you must pass every day.
Some days you move quickly.
Other days you pause.
But pausing is not the same as failing.
You can rest and continue.
Thank you for spending this calm moment with us.
Perhaps you listen while drinking tea.
Or while walking outside.
Or while sitting near a window after a long day.
Wherever you are, we hope you feel a little more confident.
Be curious about the world.
Be honest about your choices.
Be patient with your progress.
And travel with care.
Have a peaceful day.
Or a gentle, quiet evening.
We will see you in the next conversation.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.